the First Picture Show, an ongoing series where we discuss horror and thrillers from all your favorite streaming platforms and anything else we damn well please. Murder Party.
So I had a lot of fun with this. And as soon as I saw the conceit of the film, I was like, this is going to be right up your alley because these are your people. I mean, like your fellow artists.
Yeah, I do feel like there was definitely some interesting sly takes on a lot of people I know. Also, not just fellow artists, but fellow Brooklynites. It was sort of a double 1-2 punch there in terms of the satire, I think.
I mean, you could have been in this movie.
And maybe I was. It's hard to say. It's funny. I think that we personally probably react to the comedy because we also know where the satire is coming from. I mean, Dave, how long have you lived in New York now, in general?
Well, off and on. It's been the last couple years I've been here most of the time, and I was here for 5 years before. So,
I mean, it's interesting because I don't know if you felt the same way, but watching this movie last night for me, it was very nostalgic. It was shot in Williamsburg around 2005, 2006. That's roughly when I was going to Williamsburg as well. And there were things I saw that I'm like, oh, I recognize that. And, oh, I know where that is. I reacted very positively to this movie because it is kind of a time capsule. It's funny, there's a scene in this movie where one of the characters, Alexander, who's sort of like the weird patron guy, is explaining his grand plans to everybody in the warehouse. And he makes a reference to how that whole area that they're in at the moment in the warehouse will eventually be high-rise condos and artist lofts and blah, blah, blah. He's saying this in 2006, and now it actually is all those things. It literally is nothing but high-rise condos right there. So it was pretty funny and prescient. And also it's like, aha, there's an extra layer to the comedy in this, I think, seeing all these people that I recognize from the past, and I also recognize as being inherently sort of Brooklyn-y, hipstery guys. Those
are guys that we, hung out with in college and hung out with, in New York when, in our previous lives.
Yeah.
I've always been more of a Queens guy than a Brooklyn guy, but
yeah, you're more real. I mean, you had the reality, the gritty reality of Queens in your blood.
Yeah, I think the same stuff's about to happen there. I mean, it's been happening slowly, but I think the Amazon arrival is probably gonna speed that up.
It's funny, the person I was watching with last night commented that the scenes that involve these characters running through a roof party was like the most realistic representation of a roof party she'd ever seen. So there you go. I mean, it really felt like they were actively involved in walking through somebody's event. And I also read that their opening scenes where Chris, the main character, is walking from Bedford Avenue to this warehouse were all just shot in the street in October 2005 before they'd actually figured out the movie. So that was all real stuff. I mean, that was all just completely, accurate.
That's awesome.